All right, this is the last lesson of our Unit 0 for Algebra 1 of our review / setup for the rest of the class. And this one we're going to be talking about the concept of surface area. Wow, my hair is nuts. It'll be all right. We'll both live. I've been exercising and things. I don't know. All the things. It's probably nuts in the last video I made too. Yeah, there you go. It's a little weird looking. It'll be all right. I'll be small for most of the video. Maybe it won't be too distracting, and maybe it wasn't too distracting in the last video. All right. So anyway, we're going to end up with surface area and talk about the concept of surface area. And we're going to talk about the formulas for two different types of 3D shapes in there, and kind of through that kind of talk about the broader, just the idea. And you could interpolate and extract and use these concepts to find the surface area of most any shape. You just have to, it might take more steps or all of the things. You can kind of build formulas as you go. So let's dive into it. We're going to look, the first type of shape that we're going to look at is a rectangular prism. Okay, so for surface area what is surface area? Surface area is the area of all the surfaces. Okay, so it's the outside area of all the things. So this face plus this face plus this face plus this face plus that face plus that face, right? And so we're talking about a whole bunch of areas added together. And so to find the surface area, that's basically exactly how we think about it and how we do it. So to find the surface area, we have two of this face. We kind of do this, and that's, you know what I should do actually, that would probably make it a little bit easier to see, is if I go up here and make that about a 50. All right, let's see if this will work. All right, I don't know. We're experimenting with technology on the fly here. So this back face back here, and this front face up here. These, to find those areas, those are both rectangles, right? So to find the area of a rectangle, you do length times width. Now, the length is the L here. Each one of these we're going to do 2. So 2 times the length times the height. And so, right, it's because this is length, so this is also height. This is going to get, I'm going to erase that one because this is going to get really a little bit crazy. We'll see. I may end up having to undo and pull. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We're going to do our best and hope that the rest will be okay. All right. So that gives us this front face and this back face, right? So then then I've got to add on, that's too similar. If I switch to that, is that better? Yeah, a little bit. Okay. If I add on these other side faces, so this one right here and this one right there, right? So those two faces, that's the two side faces, you might call them. Well, we've got 2 of them, so we're going to do 2 times. And then for this face, it's width and height. So 2 times the width and the height. So we're just basically finding 2 times all of these, or 3 of the 6 faces of this rectangular prism. So this last one would be the top and the bottom. So this guy right here and this guy right there. I think that's not unbelievable. I don't know. It's pretty bad. But the top and bottom. So for the top and bottom, we're talking about the length and width, right? Kind of our traditional L and W's, right? So there's also 2 of those, right? So we're going to add 2 times the length times the width, right? And so what I was saying at the beginning is this, you can kind of extract this concept to find the surface area of like any shape, right? Because if we had like a hexagonal prism, something along these lines, or I'm actually ending up drawing an octagonal prism, octagonal, I don't know. So something like this, right? And then some shape on the bottom, right? Whatever. Then you would find the area of the 2 octagons, multiply those times 2, and then each one of these faces. You just add up the areas of all of those. And so you just keep on adding areas until you've gotten all of the areas, right? And that's how you do it with a prism, right? Now you might have guessed, I said there were going to be 2 shapes. You might have guessed what the second shape is. Let's see if you did. So the second shape is, oops, didn't mean to bring them both back. The second shape is a cylinder. So just like we did with volume, we got prisms and we got cylinders. So it's the same idea, although for the cylinder, we kind of have a more hard and fast. Oops. Let's make this back to fully opaque. All right. Okay, good. We got it. So we got a more hard and fast because every cylinder has a circle on the top and a circle on the bottom and that are connected by sides, right? Every single cylinder is the same, right? As far as their makeup and how they're made. Now, to find the surface area of a cylinder, the first part is pretty straightforward, right? Because the first part is we've got two circles, right? So the area of this circle and the area of that circle. So 2 times the area of the circle. So 2 times pi r squared. That'll give us the top and the bottom. Easy peasy, no big deal, right? Now, we got to do a little bit of thinking for how to get the side because you got this curved shape. Well, here's how to do it. Let me see if I can. I folded the piece of paper that I meant to be using, so make a new one. I don't have any regular paper. So take this little sticky note, fold it so it works. So what you have here in this shape is you have essentially this happening. Can you see what's happening? Yeah, now you can. So that's essentially what we have, right? And so you've got a circle on the top and a circle on the bottom, and then you've got it wrapped around. Now, if we were to take this slit and we were to take that shape and move it and pull it back out, what do we have? Well, we have a rectangle. And the length of this bottom part of the rectangle, the one that was touching the circles, is the circumference of the circle, right? So the circumference of the circle times the height. And so that's exactly what we do to find the area of all of around here. We add the circumference of the circle, so 2 pi r times the height. 2 pi RH. So that gives us the area of that rectangle that's been bent around those circles. And that's how we find surface area. And that's all there is to that. Just like all the rest of them, when you have the numbers, you just plug them into the formula and you multiply or square things or use your pi button and all of that good stuff. And that's really all there is to that. If you're my student, I'll see you in class. If not, thanks for joining us. Hope this chapter has been helpful. Let us know how else we can help you with your math, your science journey, or general homeschool questions, any of those things. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.